Hindi po nagpapagod po ba ako? Hmm. Hmm, um, um, this name is hard to pronounce actually. But anyways, welcome to the live stream. What is this? Is this a new feature for YouTube? Anyways, can you help me learn how to configure neovim? Yeah, you can ask if you are stuck in anything about neovim configuration. It's not a surety that I can solve any neovim problem, but at least I can listen. Let's see then. Minutes. I can go. Wait a minute. Integrations. Main icons. I have watched quite a few tutorial videos on configuring neovim, but they are all quite difficult to understand for me. Uh, uh, to be honest, it's literally kind of difficult task to configure neovim because Lua is kind of a untouched language for a beginner programmer, or you know there should be some specific use case if you are using Lua. So that's why configuring neovim, it's kind of difficult task actually. But the best thing I can tell you about how to configure your neovim is just to look around other creators dot files. Just understand the concepts. I know everything is kind of difficult, but you know, no one on YouTube or anyone can teach you whole neovim at a single glance. I mean, a single video can make you a genius or master about neovim programming. I mean, neovim configuration or how the runtime is working inside the neovim. So it's kind of difficult task to configure neovim for a beginner. My advice is uh, just go around for different repositories having neovim configurations, like like the most basics, kickstart.nvim, I think. One of the best starting point to learn about neovim configuration. It has, I think, pretty minimalistic configuration. You can read every single line of this, and you will get a pretty clear understanding how the things working under the hood. I I know my advice is not that useful, because it's kind of a pain to configure neovim by yourself. But anyways, just try your best, because if you able to configure your neovim by yourself, then it will make you more productive instead of using other people's configuration over GitHub or anything. You know, just try to make your own configuration. If you want to ask any specific question about neovim, then I can help in that scenario also. Anyways, so we have dev icons, right? NVim dev icons. I tend to use LazyVim, but do you think about it? Currently, I'm using LazyVim actually. Currently, I'm using LazyVim distribution because I think it's much faster and easy to configure. I know there are so many plugins that you don't need, but I think it also a great starting point, because it comes with a very minimalistic configuration also, because everything is configured in a different plugin called LazyVim. You can see here LazyVim. If you take a closer look on this plugin, this is the core of the LazyVim distribution, which handles all of the utility functionality of this distribution. So that's why LazyVim is able to provide so much little architecture for configuration. But anyways, anything best suited you, just use it, and try to more focus on learning try to focus on productivity instead of neovim configuration, in my opinion, because it's kind of a rabbit hole. Because if you dig into that drama of neovim configuration, then you will never come out. Because at least me, I never satisfied with my configuration. I I don't even know how to run HTML file in LazyVim. Literally. Uh, in that case, I think you should be familiar with code editors at the first place. You could try other editors, then you can jump into the neovim, because neovim is kind of a minimalistic code editor, and it doesn't come with out of the box functionalities like explorers and like auto brackets, I mean auto pair brackets, quotation marks. There are some basic functionalities of a code editor which doesn't provide in the neovim. I mean, when we talk about the bare bone structure. So I think you should start with a pretty functionable code editor first. Then you can jump right on top of neovim. And by the way, you can use lazywim also, because it comes with I think everything that you can imagine for a code editor. By the way, let me just see nvim dev icons. Did I miss something? Thank you very much. It's not a big deal, actually. Is there any question that you want to ask other than the neovim configuration? Then feel free to ask. I will try using lazywim. Yeah, lazywim is a great distribution. I know everything is pre-configured already in the lazywim distribution, but a lot of people's like experienced neovim users also uses lazywim because it is super duper fast, because it's natively support the lazywim plugin manager. So obviously, Polkey, the creator of lazywim distribution, had keep in mind to optimize everything to reduce the startup time of neovim. So yeah, I think it's a great choice to use lazywim. Directory. Let's give it. In order to run an HTML file, you need to install a plugin for that, right? No, you can just open that HTML file in a browser. That's it. I mean, I can show you. It's not a big deal. If I just go to front end, in this folder we have two files, index.html and the browser, I mean script.js. So if I just open that file in the browser, like then, or let's say if I use Firefox to open it up, you can see this file is loaded, and this file doesn't contain that much, because it's just a showcase for button. You can see there's a one element here only, which is the button element. So just open that file in the browser and everything will work as expected. Not a problem. Yeah. So just try it. These are the basics. Not a problem. I'm just curious about like why nvim dev icons not working? Why I'm getting two nils? Mm, I'm so noob. No, you are not a noob, you are just a beginner. Or are they same thing? I'm not sure, but I think there is some kind of a difference between noob and a beginner, I guess. So dev icons, you configure for front-end programming, right? Can you share your configuration with me? Actually, wait just a minute. You can find out my dot files repository on GitHub actually. Um, yes, like so. Um, there you go. These are the dot files, and here's the neovim folder. Basically, I think I didn't push the latest code yet, so I think it's a pretty old code right now. Um, but don't worry, I think I will update this repository for neovim maybe tomorrow because I just recently switched from my old configuration to the lazy vim. Uh, it's kind of a back and forth situation, like when you are shifting from your native configuration to the lazy vim and then your own configuration, then some distribution. It's kind of a repeated thing. And it's pretty normal for a neovim user. Okay, okay, so we need a Lua extension, right? Uh, init.lua. Okay, so there you are. Me icon screen. Got it. Hmm. I think I should wrap those things. Wait a minute. Uh, there's an icon and there's a HL group, and we can return those things like that. But before doing those, um, icon is equals to icon or just a space. No, it shouldn't be a space. Hmm. Wait just a minute. I think I need a default. I think I need some default values for that. How oil and vim does that? Oil and vim, and I have to just search nvim and web icons. There you go. Get icon by name. If icon or icon count dot default icons. Okay, got it. So we can do something like icon is equals to icon, or have a nice day. I will wait for you, update the configuration and test them. And they still work for React.js, right? Yeah, those configuration will work for React, no doubt. But they will not be the fast as lazy-vim configuration actually. I think lazy-vim is much better than your configuration or any of the neovim user configuration. Lazy-vim is much faster and easy to customizable, I think, in my opinion. Because, if I do just lazy extras, so you have so much support for different languages. Like if I do TypeScript, so you can see here's a language module, I mean a lazy extra module, which is designed to support the language related to TypeScript, like React and everything that you can imagine, which can be integrated with the TypeScript. So it can install and configure those modules automatically when you just enable this lazy extra module. So it is that simple to use lazy-vim, in my opinion. Is there a best neovim configuration for Python? I don't even know a single line of Lua. If you don't know anything about Lua, then I think you should use the lazy-vim, because I think there is a package in lazy extra for Python also. Python. You can see this is a language package for Python. It includes the um, testing modules, the LSP configuration, tree sitter, virtual environment selector. I mean, it includes everything for Python. You just have to include this package as a lazy extra, and it will handle everything for your Python, like sorting, formatting, like linting, and everything you can imagine about coding with Python. It can handle everything. Just install lazy-vim and add this lazy extra package to your configuration. That's it. And it is so easy to add these extras. Just press X. If I press X, you can see here this extra lazy-vim extra package is added to my enabled languages here. So if I reopen the neovim, you can see there are some packages are installed, and you can see the tree sitter support and the LSP support are automatically configured for Python environment. Like if I, for example, if I open a main.py file and just try to import something like import collection, I don't know about collection actually. Let's do something with the, wait a minute, import, wait a minute, how to import those things? Okay, from sorted containers, or maybe containers. I didn't remember the module actually, because it's a long time that I coded in Python. But let's say this is an array and a dot sort, like you can see you get an LSP support, and everything is well documented in. Can I ask important question? Yeah, sure. By the way, everything is well documented in the lazywim.org website. Just read out the documentation about how to use lazywim, and everything will be pretty smooth, in my opinion. So let's just remove the PMI. So my advice is just to use the lazywim distro as a beginner for neovim user. That's it. Is it okay to sell my parent house? Then all of my money I used to. Gotcha. Is this a joke? I'm currently using Kickstarter neovim. Before I'm using NVChat, but after some updates, it's completely broken. So I switched to Kickstarter neovim. I want to stop you auto formatting like I get in NVChat. So if you want to disable some auto formatting, there is a I think plugin in Kickstart, I guess. Conform.nvim. You can see this is the Steve Arcs conform nvim, which is responsible for auto formatting your files, right? So you can just read out the documentation about the conform nvim, and you can see formatted by file types. So you can disable the file types also here. Just select your language and disable that in the configuration, and this will no longer format your files which are mentioned here. Just read out the documentation like conform and vim disable. I guess. Okay. Just read out the documentation. I know there is a way to disable the auto formatting feature. It's not a big deal. Everything is well documented in Vim documentation. Just help, just write the help and do conform.nvim, and it will open the documentation for conform nvim, and everything is well documented here. Just read out it, and maybe you will find a way to disable those things. Anyways, so dev icons dot get default icon, right? What I get from this thing? Hmm. NVIM dev icons, I think, kind of suck sometimes. I think it doesn't supports all the file types. I think the icon provider is kind of limited for directories and files. I mean, the determination between the files and the folders, it's not good in NVIM dev icons. Mini icons is much better than the NVIM dev icons, but I don't know why so many people are using NVIM dev icons instead of mini icons. Anyways, so this is the default icon, right? I can use this icon instead of this, right? So wait just a minute. We can do surround those things with the parenthesis and something like we need a type. So type is, if the type is equals to, the directory, then we do this. Otherwise, we have a file icon, right? Like this. So let's paste it over here, and think this would, I think this will work. So not a big deal. Let's try to do that, and vim, it's a directory, and vim. So it's working, and wait just a minute. I think I have to do same for the highlight group. So if the type is equals to directory, then we do filer blue. Otherwise, we do filer white. Right. Uh, and the directory is here. And if this is a file, and init.lua, there is a file. Perfect. Hmm. Hmm. I think this will work fine. Let's just try to use, instead of many icons, nvim dev web, nvim dev icons. I'm kind of confused. nvim dev icons. Actually, it's not nvim dev icons, it's nvim web dev icons. So let's change nvim web dev icons. So this will change it, and let's try to do that. nvim web dev icons, nvim web dev icons, and that should do it. Right. So let's try to do that. Open it up, and I think everything looks fine. Yeah. I mean, every icon looks great in my opinion, and I think I have to do one more thing. Like, if the type is equals to directory, then we do this. Otherwise, we'll do the icon or this, right? This will sort it out everything. No, it's still weird because the .git folder should be a folder, right? So if the type is a directory, then we do that instead. Type equals to directory. If the type is equals to directory, um, then we output the directory icon. Otherwise, we choose an icon between the original provided icon for file, and if the icon is nil, we have a default icons for files. But somehow this is not working because the git icon is not, you know, let me just think about type and name. Um, it's a directory and dot git. Then why it's not working? Is this a file? Hmm. Then let's try to read all of these things. What? Okay. What is this then? Hmm. Now it's working. Yeah. Okay, so our default icon provider is working. So let's try to do one more thing. Like if I change the provider to just the basic default provider that I configured with ASCII characters, like icons, UI.lua, this one, and default, default. Maybe this thing should work. Not sure, but it could work, right? So if I do this thing, everything seems to be working. So this is the default icon provider. If you didn't provide any icon provider to this plugin, then it will show the directories like D um, with capital D and files with capital F, right? Kind of a minimalistic approach. Or maybe we can provide a different side of icons. Like if I do something like icon init, we have a default provider. Instead of D and anything, we can just provide a star value, right? It's much better because you can distinguish between directories and files by just looking at the colors. Colors are in blue for directories, and for files it's plain white, right? So looks kind of promising to me, right? Instead of using those ASCII characters or aka alphabetical characters, we can just use the star character, which looks much better. So anyways, now I just have to provide a way to generate an icon provider in the configuration. So this is the view, right? So these are the mappings, and I have to provide an icon provider. Icon provider. So icon provider could be a function or it could be a string, right? By default, it's set up to the mini icons. By default, it's equal to mini icons, but it can be it could be nvim web dev icons, and it could be, you know, wait a minute. I think I can add a dash between those, right? So same in the integration. we can just add a space, I mean a hyphen, and looks okay, right? So mini icons, there you go, looks perfect. And we have a configuration, right? So UI.lua in the Explorer. Let's do a config is equals to config, not editor config. It's just a filer configuration. Come on, filer config this. So in the filer configuration, we can just use if I can if config dot values dot if values dot icon provider, if the type of this thing is equals to a function, if this is equals to a function, then we just simply provide icon dot values dot icon provider. Otherwise, we simply do something like config dot values dot icon provider, something like that, because otherwise it's a string. Right, so this thing's sorted out, I guess. So I can just change those things, like if I open the configuration. So now my plugin should use the mini icons, right? So if I open, so these are the mini icons. You can see these are mini icons instead of NVim web dev icons. So let's see if I do dev.lua, and this is my filer npim. So I can just provide a icon provider is equals to what to say, nvim web dev icons, right? So let's just provide this thing and let's see if this uses our default icon provide, I mean the nvim web dev icons instead of many icons. So let's see, let's try to open one more time, and you can see these are nvim web dev icons instead of the mini icons. So it's kind of a customizable now. So perfect. And there's one more thing that I have to test. Like if I go to dev.lua and do something like default. So it should use star notation. Yeah, so star notation is working. And if I want to change anything, like if I want to delete this file, yeah, it's working. So we successfully create a icon provider, which can be configured by the user, right? So there's one more thing. There's one more thing. Like if I do something like dev.lua, because it could be a function. So let's just get a type and name. I don't think we need name. We just provide I mean, if the type is equals to a directory, then we return a D, capital D, or otherwise we return a F. Let's see if this works. And indeed, it's also working. So perfect. Everything is according to the plan. So let's just disable those things for now. and it should use mini icons. Yes, so it is using mini icons. Hello, welcome to live stream, Zainab. I just finished the custom icon provider functionality, and it's working pretty great. Hmm. Now this plugin is able to, um, this plugin allow user to configure their icons according to their needs, right? I think no neovim plugin is able to do this thing, in my opinion. I think oil-nvim doesn't provide this kind of custom icon provider functionality. I don't know. Maybe it could, but I look around the configuration, but I didn't find any option which will enable any custom configurations for icons. So let's commit this thing out. So this is the integration. Perfect. fs.lua. Okay. What is this? Okay, this is the UI. Indeed. And this is the config for mini icons. Perfect. So let's just commit this thing. It's a feature for, and wait just a minute. Blue and purple. I'm not sure, but I think it's kind of a YouTube feature. Top fans. I think viewers get some XP on doing some chats on YouTube. I think. Not sure about this. Anyways, let's just get the ticket number for the pull request. Not the pull request, it's just the issue for nvim development supports, right? So I'm gonna, this is the number 27. So resolves hashtag 27, right? Implement a custom icon provider, right? And allow user to provide their own icon provider function. Also integrate some popular icon providers in the community, right? For example, mini.icons and nvim web dev icons, right? So this thing should work, right? Let's commit this thing out and let's publish this. Before publish, let's try to test the code. Okay, perfect. So everything is working. Now we just have to push the changes. And that should close this thing. Yeah, perfect. So CP. I recently implemented the icon provider options to this plugin. So that user can provide their own own icon provider functions, and also there are some built-in integration functions with mini dot icons, mini dot icons, and nvim web dev icons. Just check out the docs when they got updated. Smiley. Anyway, perfect. So this issue successfully got resolved, and this is the pull request, right? So I have a commit here. I want the hash code for this commit, this one, and go to the pull request. Just go here, check out this one. Here I implement a icon provider, both with built-ins and completely customizable icon provider function. But still need to update documentation. Perfect. So, all right. So, looks promising. I think that's it for the stream because I successfully implement the icon provider. And if there is any problem with the icon provider functionality, we can resolve those issues later when someone raises the issues here. We can handle those things later. Yeah. So, all right. I think it's the best time to end this stream. So thank you for joining the stream, guys. If you have any question, then you can ask. Otherwise, I'm gonna end this stream in about 1 minute. All right, so good night, guys. It's time to end up the stream. Take care. We will meet in the next stream.